Welcome to the Valley Tour with NezbyKitty. If you remember, a year ago I uploaded a Snow White build video with her, but the thing is, we recorded the entire Valley Tour, but for some reason I never got a chance to post it. And now I just want to make it right. I want to make sure that all of the highlights from our Valley Tour is going to be in this video, and it took a whole year to actually make it into a video and upload it. So I'm so sorry, NezbyKitty. This is perfect opportunity. I'm on vacation right now, so I'm preparing all these videos. You're going to be seeing all of the Valley Tours that I recorded a long time ago and never had a chance to upload in the next couple of weeks. So if you need inspiration for your Valley, this is going to be great for you. Don't forget, this is a year-old tour, which means none of the recent amazing decorating features were present back then. So I think it's kind of also a nice way to reflect on what we used to have and what we have now. And I think we're gonna feel very grateful for all the tools and decorating things that we have now that we didn't used to have before. So thank you so much, NezbyKitty. Let's jump right into it. So I just edited the video and I wanted to include this in the video. This was one of my first ever Valley Tours. If not the first, it might be actually the first one. And I clearly don't know what I'm doing. So you can see me trying to do like the panning shots during the tour, which I don't do anymore. And but that was a great learning experience. And I also don't talk too much and more focus on trying to show off the builds instead of interacting with the person who's doing the tour. I hope I got better at Valley Tour since then, but you might need to suffer through this one, but the builds are absolutely worth it. NezbyKitty is so sweet, and she absolutely carried this tour, and I'm so grateful that she absolutely saved it. So huge shout out to NezbyKitty, and let's just do this.
So my father likes to give nicknames, and when I was born, he nicknamed me Reby. In high school, my brother shortened it to B. And then when my brother started having babies, I became Aunt B. So I'm known as Aunt B within my family.
Oh, that's cute.
But I don't know if I can change that for you today. Would that be better? So it would say NezbyKitty?
I mean,
or
it doesn't really matter. I can still announce you as NezbyKitty if you want.
Okay, so the inspiration for this first build was three things on that very day. We got our first player house, which is the Purple Cottage, and it was rumored we would have multiplayer, so I knew I wanted to make a guest house from my first build here. The second thing that happened, and it's so funny, Ariel's standing there, she got her legs on this same day. Her mansion is, or her palace is beautiful, but it doesn't have any furniture in it, so I thought guest house for my Valley visits, and also for Ariel. And the third thing that happened, in Scrooge's store, I got my first toilet. And I thought, Nezby, what are you going to do with that? Now, this is a guest house, and you just can't have that on the wall all exposed. So that was the inspiration, and this is the build. And I believe I have to open the door first so you can come in. Yeah, bring everybody in. Okay, I've only had 2 visitors to my Valley before, and so you'll see, because it's for Ariel as well, you'll see nautical themes, blue colors, touches of Prince Eric, and Wall-E, because Wall-E's her BFF. Ariel, I had the little photographs here on the desk because she's adventurous and would probably take lots of pictures once she got on land. And I used the stars and the shells, and over behind the dining room table, I used to have the set. There's another picture in a frame exactly like that, and it used to be blue, but after one of the updates it turned hot pink, and I kept it there for a little while, but then I just swapped it out and anchored it with the plates because I wanted it to have just different tones of blue in here for the guests, for your house. This is anyone's house that comes to my Valley. In Farm Together, which is a game I played, people could come and go at will, and the host didn't even have to be there. So I wanted y'all to have a place to come to if multiplayer had ended up like that. So when you first come in, I don't know if you have your volume up, but you can hear the sound of water, which is the water on the left and right there. And then I used the Toy Story kitchen cabinets as a wall divider and wall partitions for privacy. And I did this build in May of 2023 when we first got the first player house. So at that time, I thought I need to create. I hadn't seen any wall partitions in anyone else's build at that time, and I used the Toy Story kitchen cabinets because I think that when they're in the kitchen, certainly look like kitchen cabinets, but in here, I thought they looked like a place where you could store your towels and washcloths and toiletries. So if you come back towards the wall with the mirror, you'll see that I used the 3 kitchen cabinets backwards and one on the side to give an L-shaped partition and some privacy there.
Yeah, that's a cool use of the cabinets.
You like that? Thank you. And at that time, I didn't have as many bathtubs, and we didn't have as many bathtubs in the game as we do now, but this was the original build with that tub there, and you can put the water in it like that if you want some movement in the water. So we're going to go in here, and this build, again, this was May of 2023, and we had a different statue for Prince Eric back then. So it was white marble, and I think that matched the tabletops better. And he was also in a different pose. I thought his original pose was nice, and I thought it kind of looked like he was just protecting her and looking over her in that older pose. And if you guys want to see it, the original one, it's in Mr. Starr's Dreamer's Portal. And then after the next room I'd like to take you into is the kitchen. Yeah, this is every recipe in the game, and the original build is also in your portal, and it was called Dreamy Kitchen.
I remember this.
Yeah, this was Cooking with Friends. So with Cooking with Friends, and I just think all of the food in this game is so pretty. The prettiest I've ever seen in any game I've ever played. So I knew I wanted to cook all of the recipes, but the original build, and then I had a pizza buffet in the upper right, which is over here, and I was so happy when the DLC gave us the pineapple pizza because I had wanted 6 different ones. And these little canisters back here kind of represent what your mom or your grandmother might have had near their oven when they had their coffee sugar, and along the side there, and flour.
Mm-hmm.
And then in the original build, I did do something a little unusual with the islands. So if you guys if you look at Dreamy Kitchen, you'll see it, but it gave me enough space where right where the mannequin is in front of him, I could have a sushi bar. And when you first came in the door, on the left there was a coffee bar, and on the right was a dessert table. But after the DLC came out, we had so many more delicious looking recipes. I knew I wanted to cook them all, and what a better time than Cooking with Friends. I wanted the view to be on the food. So it was an outfit challenge though, if I remember correctly, but I'm not right in the camera. I had the camera more on the food. I just put the focus on the food because I think it's so pretty. And as we're going down there, I got very lucky. I've been working on this for weeks and weeks to get all pumpkins here for Wall E, and I got my last one on Saturday, and I knew we were going to be doing this. I was like, yes!
That's awesome. I've never seen this in real life.
I was so excited when I did that. And back here in the back, this might be something your viewers might like. I used those same Toy Story kitchen cabinets, made a backdrop wall. I've done this for Oswald as well in the DLC because I have a black and white build there, and his theater looks good in front of it. But I'll make little extra challenges for myself when we don't have an event going on. So these will hold the same as a small chest, and so they each have 2 rows, and it's full. It's beginning at the far left with apples, and then asparagus, and then bananas, and it keeps going all the way through the alphabet till you get down here to zucchini. And
that's smart.
Thank you. And if you have new players in the game and maybe they don't have a whole lot of Dreamlight yet, or a lot of resources, these are only 480 gold in Scrooge's store, and they hold the same as a small chest. And I use them a lot as we saw them in the guest bath, and in here. Oh, and I used to have them over here behind my swimming pool for the villagers. And I originally had that wall back here, but then when I decided I wanted to do individual ones for each fruit or vegetable, that's when I moved them over. And I had moved Wall-E to the DLC to be with Eve. So Wall-E's house used to be back there. Oh, and Mr. Star, while we're up here, I know we're going to the Glade, but would you step in Daisy's boutique with me? I come from a game Farm Together, and in Farm Together, when you would go into multiplayer, there was a guest book when you it went to someone else's farm, and it was a nice way to keep up with all of your visitors. And now that you've come in here, I kind of think of Daisy's cash register is that as the Farm Together guest book, because now you'll be on mine.
Yeah.
So thank you. And if there's anything in here you'd like, I mean, I'm brand new at making dresses. This is the only two I've made back here in the back. The first two I just put color on them so I could put them in my windows. For me, learning the tools was easier with furniture, and so I have some beanbag chairs over here on display. If you're thinking over here, if you ever thought, what should I do with that little patch of grass at the bottom of the stairs? Here's a little greeting for you and your viewers.
That's awesome.
Thank you. Okay, so I'll take you back up, and we'll go over here to the left. And now I have 9 floors decorated in my house, my default house. So when I started decorating player houses, I really wanted to do something different. So this is my beach house, and I made it into a beach house shop. So if you needed some suntan lotion, a bucket so you could make sand castles on the beach, or beach ball or anything like that, this is my beach house shop.
Nice.
And above the doors, there are signs above the doors that guide the villagers to what's behind them. The tavern sign over here on the left is for the Beach House Bar and Grill. The Monsters Inc. Monsters University sign straight ahead is for school. That's a class where you can learn how to sail, S-A-I-L. And over here on the right is Scrooge's sign above the door, because that's a fashion show for summer wear in there. This room I used for Moana's Village. I did have to remove the area rug because that was before we could just pull our trigger and get Touch of Magic items out. So I just removed the area rug, and I added a few more items for tags, and submitted. And it did well. I mean, interiors, a lot of times interiors don't do as well as exteriors. I know we both know those can be risky, but I would say probably about half of mine are interiors. I just enjoy decorating the insides of the houses, and I'm still trying to get stronger on the exteriors, but this was Moana's Village, and it's also in your portal. So this is a sailing class, and way back, sailors used to use the stars to navigate, before we had GPS. So I have the star projector here because that's our lessons today, is how to navigate with the stars. In elementary school, I remember in geology class, you would pick up rocks and touch them, and that's why the gemstones are over there, so that the students can touch and feel things that they might find out on a voyage, some treasures. There's coffee over on the right because we also have night classes, so adults or students could come in and go to class and have coffee. I have a couple of books here so that you could read on your coffee break for pirates. And I wish we could sit down in multiplayer, but this is the fashion show for summer. Oh, you're in it. You're standing in the back like you're one of the models and you're about to come down the catwalk. That's cute.
Wow, I love the colors in this room.
Oh, thank you. I enjoyed this build. If we ever have a fashion show Dream Snap, I'm ready.
Yep. When
we had the DIY theme park, I added some different types of vehicles on it so that if a person came to ride the ride, they could pick out their different car. I didn't have any rides. I didn't know about the game in 2022, and I didn't have any of that, but I was so happy when the Star Path items started becoming available. And on the day of the DIY theme park, we could get those baskets with all the colorful balloons above them. And I did that and added it to it. And then I added additional colorful balloons in the four corners because my balloons were the ones I'd crafted and they're kind of pastel, but they go with the track. So this was my DIY theme park. Back here in the back is the winner's circle and the box seats. And I used to have the trophies back here, first, second, and third place for the car races, but then I moved them up there under that new start sign. The clock, Mr. Star, this used to be the hourglass, because I thought the drivers would need to know when it was their final lap. Mm-hmm. And I just changed it to the clock yesterday. And I don't know if you probably have, but this is the first time I've used it. These clocks tell the real time, where most of the clocks in the game are 5 minutes till midnight, for Cinderella. But this tells the actual time.
Yeah, that's nice. That's convenient.
Isn't that nice? And then I used to have ice cream back here, but we got before we had this pretzel stand. And that was ice cream in the Dream Snap. And that was my Dream Snap for the theme park Dream Snap.
Looking good.
What
is your item limit?
I'm at 4,200.
So you have 6,000. Oh yeah, so you still have room to work with.
This is the outdoor arcade. I'd like my glade to be kind of a nice social area for my visitors and for the villagers. And Mr. Star, if you were over here and you were gaming and getting tickets from the different games you played, can you figure out what this table's about?
The prizes?
Yes, you bring your tickets, and I wanted to have some low-end items and some high-end items for people to get their prizes and take them home. And then I'll take you down here to the apartment building. The apartment building is a different type of build for me. Because they're apartments, it's the first time I've done this. I put the living room, dining room, kitchen, and bedroom in the 10 by 10 area. And the first one is for Mickey and Minnie. Well, they've been in love almost 100 years, so they made the commitment. And they still have their individual homes, of course, too. And then Buzz and Woody are behind you. Okay, this is for Buzz and Woody, and it was a fun discovery when I sat down that sofa. I never knew that the pillows matched the pillows on the bunk bed, so I pulled the bunk bed out, put the sofa behind it, and then you have a wider area. I was so excited. My very favorite thing I've ever gotten in Scrooge's store is the claw. I'm an administrator in a Disney Dreamlight Valley club on Xbox. It's called Disney Valley, and every single one of the people in there know how excited NezbyKitty was to get the claw. I think I had waited, maybe 12 months before I finally got the claw. I really like that movie, Toy Story. I mean, this was a fun build. I enjoyed doing this one. Bright and colorful. Penelope and Sully. And the last apartment, the fourth room that I did, was for Simba and Nayla.
This is really special.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. The tip what I discovered, with each one of these, I discover something new about the game. And what I discovered in this room is the headboard on this bed. It's a solid headboard normally, but if you put the mirrors, which have the matching flowers on them, I believe it's called the Art Deco mirror, if you put it behind the headboard, it shows the wooden cutouts on the headboard.
Oh, wow, that looks good.
Thank you. And of course, we had grubs, and we had the lioness soup and food that I thought they might like. And this is where I used those beanbag chairs that we saw in Daisy's boutique.
Oh,
made a little. I also made a little challenge for myself. I decided I would use things that I'd never used before. So I had never used most of. As I look around the room, I think the only thing I've ever used before in any of my builds is the lockers over here, which were in the sailing class. I had the lockers there with the gemstones on top of them.
Mm-hmm.
And the drinks that you see sitting here are the drinks that you would not have seen in the kitchen, but they're over here now. And lots of candy and sweets. A place where you could just relax, hang out with your friends, watch a show on Sully's TV there. This is the kitchen. I had never used any of this before. I like the blue cabinets, and I discovered on accident that you can stack the corner ones. So I'm hoping that to everyone this will look like a pantry on the left and right, and you can do it with the handles.
Nice.
Thank you. And more candy everywhere. And I can't remember what this bowl is called, but I know it's not cheese balls, but to me it looks like cheese balls. So I set those out.
Yeah, I think those are berries.
They're berries in the game, aren't they? They kind of look like cheese balls to me.
Yeah, they do.
But when I started doing this player house, I thought, well, I should move the slumber party over there. That makes sense. It's a social place. Everybody's getting together, having fun, eating candy. And when I brought it over here, Mr. Star, I discovered something. The 10 by 10 rooms that we all know, when we were upgrading our default house, you could choose from 3 different sizes, and the largest one is 10 by 10. And the floor plan in the player houses looks identical to the floor plan in our default houses. A tip for everyone, by the way, if you're going to move a room, and this also works for exteriors, if you're going to move a build, take your cell phone, take a picture of it real quick on your TV screen. So then you can quickly pick everything up, and when you get to your destination, you can easily put it all back down. So in here, thank you. I like a clean beach because I didn't grow up anywhere near the ocean. I've seen other people's screenshots, and they have a lot on their beach, and it's beautiful. But I like to keep mine clean because when I go on vacation, if I'm lucky enough to go to a beach, I like to get up early and go out there, and it's nice and clean, and get the seashells and things like that. Here's where I put my yes. Here's where I put my hydrangeas to stop the spawn, because you need 6 of each color to stop your spawn, so that you don't have to clean up flowers every day. And then if we come over here, I call this Maui Park. But this is where I put my 4 sunflowers, because to stop the spawn of sunflowers, you need to put 4. So you just pick somewhere pretty and put 4 down, and you won't have to pick up flowers anymore. I never have to break the coral. I like the 2 corals that naturally landed way over there on the left there. And then I just continue to break the corals every day until I got all of them to line up down there on the right. So I never have to do anything but pick up night thorns.
That's awesome.
Over here. Thank you.
I would love to have less work to do around my valley every day.
Oh my goodness, yes. Oh, that's where some pirates have come in, Mr. Star, back there where you are. That I like to think of this part back here as the oldest part of the valley, and some pirates came and buried their treasure back here. And let me tell you something, I had the yellow one too. Oh, I'm so mad at myself. I had the yellow one that spawned back here as well, and then 2 blue ones and a green one, and then I filled in with the red ones that we get from our dream snaps. But as I do, the yellow one drops when you have a night thorn, and it happens to be the night thorn that has 10 gold coin, and then you have to pick up the last gold coin to get the yellow chest. I will never get that yellow chest back here in the same spot again. And the reason I picked it up was for a dream snap. Oh. It was it was for the Forget Me Not dream snap, which was about shadows, and I get good shadows down here. So I had picked it up thinking, well, I'll just get it back. I just didn't even think about the yellow one being that many steps. It was just in my way, and I picked it up. But I just don't think in 100 years I would ever get a night thorn in just the right spot with the 10 coins, and the 10th coin being just the right spot to get that yellow one back. But I did want you to know that I did have all colors back here. I liked it. The two blue ones spawning, one of them did it one day and then later another, and then I had the green, then I had the yellow, and I said, well, I'm just going to make this a secret treasure area on Skull Island.
Aren't you missing out on blue chests, free moonstones?
Well, don't we just get one every day?
Yeah.
Or do you get 3 every day or 1 every day?
It's 1 every day, but now if you
It's 1
miss a
every
day,
Yeah.
you won't
So
be able to.
I still get 1 every day. I just have to find it. Yeah, but since we're only getting, if 3 were spawning every day, I probably would pick those up. But I find it. I do my run, and I find the blue one. And so when you first come in, the area rugs were different. They changed after Monsters Inc. I'll see if I can just redo them, but they had kind of an AstroTurf texture on them. I thought that looked like it could repel water, and it was a chocolate on chocolate look on the area rugs. And if you look at Prince Eric's model of his ship, and you look at the back of it on the galleon, where you see the windows going around and the light coming out of them, that's what I was hoping you would feel like when you come in here. Like you're in that part of the galleon, when you have the windows all the way around the room. And
these are custom rugs, right?
Yes.
Yeah, they look awesome.
Oh, you like them? Oh, thank you. Well, I may leave them alone then. They did. Yeah, I might just leave them. If you like them, I'll leave them there. Oh, and Mr. Star, I know how much you like Prince Eric. The guitar is over here because I was kind of hoping he might pick up the guitar and set down that flute. So I think that Prince Eric probably has a cook, and he probably has someone to swab the deck, and they probably sleep in shifts. So I put the roped the 2 extra beds for his staff on ropes, because I heard that back in the day that helped you. Sailors like to do that, or maybe even in a hammock, and it would reduce motion sickness. And then I think they probably bathe in shifts, and I use this sink and these tubs so you could pump the water up like as if it looked like it was coming up from underneath the boat. Knowing that I didn't want any electricity, and I do like this fireplace. I like the Viking horns on it, and it does have a pot over it because we would be cooking here. But this particular fireplace in the game doesn't have a flame, so I took the pixel flame, which is totally for something else, and I put it in there. And I had the bucket there because you're pumping out water and you're cooking, and I in real life like a set of cookware like Circulon, Cathalon, Tefal. So if you take the tall black pot and you put it on the fireplace mantle, it looks like a set of cookware. And then the last room is the loot room. The inspiration for this is a game that I enjoy, and it's called Sea of Thieves. So if we have any Sea of Thieves players watching, the bananas in here are for you.
Whoa. Was that a treasure trove dream snap?
Yes. It was. And actually, I only have the 4 mannequins there because of the treasure trove dream snap. Usually I don't have the other mannequins in here, and I'm still trying to determine if I want to leave them in here or not, because here's another tip. This is what I always do, and these are not working here. I always choose the dark mannequins when I have a dark floor, and the light mannequins when I have a light floor, because it blends better. See, I don't like all that white down there on my flooring, but for the dream snap, you didn't see their feet. And I had just set them down and tried to come up with 4 different ways to dress a pirate. And these 4 are also different from the first 2 that we saw in the kitchen. There is a little narrative going on in here. When Prince Eric goes out on a voyage and he comes in, he's just dumping everything in the middle like you would in the game Sea of Thieves. Now, these 3 barrel tables used to be real barrels, and that was also a dream snap. What was it called? Swashbuckle and Swagger. And it has, in the portal, if y'all want to see it, it has the real barrels, and I had bananas around it because in Sea of Thieves, you had to eat bananas for stamina for the first year before they added anything else, and it wasn't a whole lot of stamina. A lot of sailors were standing around barrels eating bananas. And over here, this first table, this is where Prince Eric will unbox his chest and his crates and see what he's discovered, and that's why in the memory frame above it is the quest that we did where we were dismantling things. And then over here, he measures his gold that he's discovered in the scale, and he takes his ink the quill from the ink pot there, and he keeps a log of all the gold and where he found it, and that's why the memory frame is a treasury map up there. And then over here, he plans his next voyage by taking scrolls of and new modern books and trying to determine the best voyage to go out and find more treasure. And then on the last one, that was pretty self-explanatory, but if we look at the memory frame above it, that is the quest that I'm talking about. And I have that there because it's gemstones, but when we get to my main house, that's the quest I'm talking about when we start talking about those books. The Frosty Fortress is perfect for a conservatory, because that's where you would conserve fruits and vegetables and things that you might not be able to grow. And since it's wintry and right up here near the Frosted Heights, I was glad that I got this finally, and this is my clue house. I thought at first we would be on a stream and we would have an audience, and I've never had anyone in it. And if we have people in your audience that have played the board game Clue, 4 of the rooms from that board game are here, 4 suspects and 4 weapons. And since you didn't play the game, Mr. Starr, I'm going to go ahead and go in. I was hoping really that you had. I have made sure that all my nephews played this board game. I played it as a child and loved it. The idea is that you talk to the other friends around a table that are playing Clue, and using clues and asking questions. At the end, you try to determine the suspect, the room, and the weapon. Well, Disney Dreamlight Valley doesn't have very many weapons, but I thought of a way to do the 4 rooms with 4 suspects and weapons. And if they want to play along, or anyone that's watching us right now that wants to play along with it, the clue is for the mannequins, I tried to dress them in colors of the suspects. So since you didn't play it, and that's okay that you did. In fact, I hope this is going to be fun for people that didn't play the board game Clue. But if they did, this is Mrs. Peacock in the conservatory with the rope. This is Mrs. White in the dining room with the candlestick. And I'm hoping that when people do come in and go through here, but when they get into this room and they go, "What? He's standing over there with a candlestick," and then if they've played the board game Clue, I'm hoping that this is the point where it would dawn on them that this is from the board game Clue. This is Miss Scarlet. She's in the lounge, and it might be a little harder for your audience to find the weapon for her, because these are the real weapons in the game. But if you come over and check her earrings, it's Miss Scarlet in the lounge with the dagger.
Uh-huh.
And with the board game Clue, the rooms are not decorated. It's just a board on your table, and you have squares that say ballroom, lounge, conservatory, kitchen, etc., dining room. So we'll go to the last room. It's the hardest one. I still hope it would be enjoyable for you, though. I mean, they are decorated. This is the study. Oh, good. Oh, good. Okay, thank you. This is the study. Represents the study in the board game Clue. My suspect is Colonel Mustard. Colonel Mustard. That's why he's in the mustard colors there. And this one was tough. I needed a 4th weapon, and so for those that do know the game, I hope they'll laugh when they look at the top of the desk. This is Colonel Mustard in the study with the wrench.
That makes sense.
This is I intend to make the castle for the Disney princesses. But a year ago, I came back here and I had started earning puzzles, and I started an art gallery about a year ago. And as I continue to get more puzzles, I add them in here.
Wow.
And,
I don't have this many memories.
Most of mine are gardening. Again, coming from the game Farm Together, I love gardening, and I garden pumpkins every day. And so most of my orbs and puzzles that I've received, they're from gardening. I think I've about got them all for gardening. The dried flowers, I just don't know how I'm ever going to get. I don't think I've gotten a single. I know I have not gotten any puzzles in the game 14 months, and I've never gotten a puzzle from dried flowers. I just don't know how we're ever going to get all of those, Mr. Star.
Yeah, no one does.
But I am planning to move my art gallery. I'm going to move it into the player house that looks like it has flowers all over it. And I think I'll have some art rooms in there, maybe an art class and easels, and have the whole gallery there. But that's going to be a bear to move that art gallery, because when you move the memory frame, it's empty again. And then you have to redo it. So it's definitely one where I'll be taking pictures with my cell phone, because I took quite a bit of time to put them that way. Like at the top back row was all blue backgrounds, and try to keep the characters in close to each other, and which one looks good next to this one, and so on. Here's how I stopped the spawn of my ice. I wanted all of my ice around the lake, so I would just come in every day, chop, 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 until they all spawn back here. And you can get, you can get through it. Now, I did leave the one over here. We'll see when you come over this way, but I did. Oh, I love it. Well, I can see both kitty cats now. Oh my gosh, picture time. I've got to take a picture.
Can you have 4 people and have 4 cats running around?
Oh, that would be so much fun. We have to do that. Like, oh my goodness, that would be so much fun. What a great idea. So this is my winter spa. I like to think that Christoph had put these rocks down on this little bridge here for Anna and Olaf himself and all their company, and they can come right across it when they're visiting in the castle there and come over for the winter spa. And the bottles in the back are like different aromatherapy and oils and things that you can put in your water. And the little towelettes there, and the sinks are for washing up and drying off and things like that. And some drinks. Because I think in real life, because I love it up here when it's snowing. If I could sit in a hot tub in the snow, would that just not be awesome?
Yep.
So I did that there. And then Buzz has always been up here. I wanted to have a winter campground. And this lamp is new in Scrooge's store. If you haven't seen it yet, and everyone that's watching, you might be getting it soon. So it does lean. It's crooked and rusted. So I put it up here by the outhouse.
Yeah, I have this one already.
You do? Okay. As we run by this little rock garden here, I put some apples down as if they'd fallen from the tree.
That's so smart.
Thank you. So I thought with multiplayer, we would have that kind of accessibility. And so I thought if anybody was to take that nature walk, go all the way down here, come by the market, and were interested enough in my valley that they would even walk all the way back here, well, I need a little surprise for them. So if you come around here, there's a secret room for that person, and you can have, if you bring the camera over towards the bench like you're going to sit on it, you can probably swing it where there's not a lot of rocks or trees. And so you have some food, and you could take a nap by a waterfall, and then the cubs are there playing with crabs.
That's awesome.
Scar was bad. He set out decoys.
Wow. Are these bones of these creatures?
Well, do you remember? We got the bones from the DLC, and I thought it was kind of funny. Because we had that quest early in game where we have to teach Scar that friends aren't food. You know, he was wanting to eat the critters. And so after Olaf, when we did the quest for Olaf and we had these cardboard cutouts, I thought, well, I really want to do something with those. They're so cute. And then it just hit me. Scar, he could have decoys.
That's awesome.
So up here is the Forgotten Lands. This player house is not decorated, the castle here, but I plan to do the, I hope I'm saying this correct, the Sanderson sisters from Hocus Pocus, and have an apothecary room, that kind of thing, that kind of spooky. Over here is where the Nightmare Before Christmas build is, and out here, you know this already, but you can drop the little pouches on the ground if I was trying to do a Christmas scene and lots of presents. And I hope this sort of looks like putting the bathtub here and the deer. I was trying to represent Santa's sleigh.
Yeah.
Yeah. if you'd like to walk around out here, that there's a cemetery back here. There's 3 different ways to get into it. And I put the smaller flame there because you can set something on that. And then I think that these critters or companions kind of look like spirits. And so these are, our loved ones that have crossed the Rainbow Bridge. So, and because Beast Castle is up here, I did the rose garden for him.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Thank you. And I like to stop the spawn of all my wood. I know you have a video on that. I figured that out too, and I keep mine. I'll find a corner somewhere in the biome, and I put my wood over here for this biome. So if folks are watching and they might not be aware of that or seen your previous video, you can stop the spawn of your wood. So I have something to tell you that I discovered while doing this build. Let me get out of your way. So it's the Nightmare Before Christmas. So I have the jack-o'-lanterns to the left and the Christmas to the right. And Sally, she put something in the drinks in the movie. So that's why I have this on this table. And the mannequins, they're all in their Halloween costumes and they're getting candy ready for the trick-or-treaters. They're making candied apples. But this was my workroom. I remember when you first started playing, you'd have to go inside and sit in a chair to get your stamina back. That was the chair I sat in. And the quest in the castle that we did for Mickey regarding the forgetting, when you went in there, which was that curtain that we saw in my pirate ship, you found a secret door, you went in. And after you completed it, there were books laying on the floor. Some of them were just for reading, but 3 of them you could pick up. And it was the brown one, the purple one, and the blue one. And if you didn't sell them and you still had them, you could decorate with them. And when you set them down, and this would have been 14 months ago, when you set them down, magic came up out of them. So similar to Rapunzel's flowers. So I had these 2 books and magic came up out of them in May of 2023. So I set them to the left and the right of this door. And when the mannequins came out, I dressed them as students, and they came over from Hogwarts, and they were looking through all the books to find magic for me, and they had found 2. And that's why they're sitting here. Well, with the Vanellope update, the magic went away. So I had magic coming out of the books for 8 months, and then the magic stopped coming out of them. That's why I have the flowers, because Mr. Star, they took the magic away, but I can't pick up the books. Go over there and try to pick one up. You can't pick it up. I can't remove it. I can move it around, but it's always going to be a part of this room. So I decided I would. So with Rapunzel's flowers, that's why they're there, because I was used to seeing magic coming out of the books, which it did look better for 8 months. The actual living room, though, for my first build is straight back. I'm having a dinner party. And this was also my Dreamlight Ball Dream Snap. This is my Noob Kitchen, the first kitchen that I made. And these are the chests over here for all of the recipes in the game. So if someone was going to do that, it takes 1 large chest to store all of the appetizers. It takes 2 large chests to store all of the desserts, and it takes 3 large chests to store all of the entrees. If you will put the puffs and the macaroons, because there's 8 puffs, if you'll put those 2 rows in another storage, then you can get every recipe in the game organized like that in 6 large chests is what it will take. The 1912 hotel, the inspiration for it is in a hotel in my hometown. It's called the Peabody Hotel, and if anyone more interested, you can Google Peabody Ducks. We're going to go up on the 8th floor. So I can't actually put ducks in the fountain, but in Memphis at the Peabody Hotel, we have a large fountain in the middle of the lobby, and I was hoping this would look like a hotel lobby for y'all. But the reason I have the ducks above each of the elevator doors, and those doors do look very much like the Peabody's elevators. I put the ducks above each door to represent the Peabody Ducks. The Peabody Ducks started out as a joke in 1932 over 3 men sipping too much Tennessee whiskey. And they thought it would be funny to put their decoys, which in the 1930s they were live ducks, they thought it would be funny to put them in the Peabody Fountain. And the people loved it. So for more than 80 years now, it's been a tradition to have the Peabody Ducks in the fountain. And they march across they live in the penthouse suite. They march down across a red carpet. They get in the fountain twice a day, and people come from, well, I think people come from all over the world, mostly to see Graceland, the home of Elvis Presley, and also to see Bill Street and B.B. King and the Blues. But while they're there, they'll go down to the Peabody and watch the Peabody Ducks march. And there's a video of it. Peabody Ducks, if you're interested. Anyway, in the Peabody Hotel in the lobby, they do have complimentary appetizers they'll bring to your chairs and tables. So, and it does look very much like our seafood platter. That it actually has like 3 plates with the brass handle. And I have the popcorn machine here because you get complimentary food at the Peabody, and there's live music at the Peabody, the piano or a harp. And so from the front door, I use that shape of the mannequin to kind of look like she's playing the harp. And in 1912 or later, and you didn't have a cell phone. You couldn't check into your hotel the way we do today. So I have Ariel here. She's checking into the registry. The second thing that inspired this build is a movie called Somewhere in Time, starring Christopher Reeve and Jane Seymour. And that scene where he's in the directory or the registry for the hotel is very important in that scene. And both of those, that's my favorite movie of all time. And of course, I love Memphis. So that was the inspiration. This is my sentimental build. And we'll go into the first room. It's the first ballroom in the Peabody. It's not got a lot in it because I wanted to leave space for the dancing. And then the second room is the winter ballroom. And in this room, if you have seen Somewhere in Time, and most people have never heard of it, but if you've seen it or love it, this suit looks so much like what Christopher Reeve purchases in 1980 before he time travels to 1912. This movie has everything. It has science fiction, it has time travel, it has romance, and it has impressionism. Once he gets to 1912, the whole thing looks like an impressionist painting. And Jane Seymour wears a dress that's similar to this. And there's a important scene where they're dancing. And if you come over here, Mr. Star, and kind of get to this edge, I'm hoping that when you are over here and swing that camera, the other 3 mannequins in the scene in the movie, they're looking at the couple that is dancing. And so I kind of tried to place them like they were looking at the couple and talking about them, because that happens in that scene as well. And a funny thing happened. Before our kitty cats, I always used the white fox. And I didn't know he was in here. He had spawned in, and I was taking a screenshot. I had already posted it in my club. The club belongs to our owner, Lullaby. I'd love to give a shout out to her. I think the Disney Valley Club on Xbox is the best Disney Dreamlight Valley Club on Xbox, and it's called Disney Valley. And anyone that's watching this today, you're welcome to come. And if you're on, I would like to invite everybody, but I think you have to be an Xbox player to get in an Xbox club. But it's one of those warm, community-driven clubs. It hasn't been here since the beginning. She didn't have the game in the beginning, neither did I. I'm an admin for her, and she understands why we game. This club is about joy and magic. There are thousands of clubs on Xbox, and some of them have a lot of rules, and your screenshots get deleted, and criticism, and that will never happen in Disney Valley. And so I'd like to invite everybody to that. If you're on Xbox, we'd love to have you. If you want to come in. And I wasn't just talking about Disney Dreamlight Valley. There's a lot of clubs with all games. But sometimes there can be a lot of restrictions and rules, and people are uncomfortable joining them. Lullaby has made our club a very warm, beautiful community. I mean, just think of every good word in the dictionary, and that would apply to Lullaby. So anyway, that was long-winded. But anyway, my fox was in here, and I didn't know it. And he got underneath the girl here in the red dress, and he had his paw up. So you never know what your audience is going to think. And we talk about this a lot with Dream Snaps. But I didn't know that fox was under her dress. And I had already posted it on my activity feed, and I had posted it in the Disney Valley Club. So later, when I saw the white fox was in there, I was like, oh no. But I'd already gotten some likes and comments, so I put a caption on there. Would you call that a foxtrot? Well, the people on my activity feed caught it. They saw the white fox under her skirt, and they were leaving me comments about the fox under the dress. But in my club, the comments I was getting was they thought the three people were looking at Christopher Reeve and Jane Seymour and asking, because they're supposed to be dancing, is that a foxtrot? And I just thought that was pretty interesting. Same picture, two completely different sets of comments. And I was just trying to be funny. I really did mean the fox under the dress, but if you didn't see it, which I didn't when I first took the picture, it could look like they were talking about the couple dancing. The last room in the 1912 hotel is the honeymoon suite. I didn't know we could put this outdoor item in here, and I was so tickled because to me it looks like room service.
Yeah, I didn't know either.
And then we have his and her tubs, his and her bathrobes. I wanted it to, look, this TV, it's the first time I've used it. And I thought I need to do something around that. And it's an Art Deco TV, so I just kind of played around with the mirrors there. And I mean, I'm okay with it. I may not change it, but I was kind of reaching out a little bit there and trying to do something that was Art Deco. It's my first try at it. I liked this TV though because it looks like it has a gaming system in it. And I mean, you could be on your honeymoon, right? Consummate your marriage, do what you need to do there. But I'm telling you what, I would want to get on my Xbox too. While I was on the honeymoon, I would take it with me. Every time I travel, I take my Xbox Series S. It's small and it fits in a suitcase easily. And I travel with it. And I bet you probably won't take yours on your cruise because you said you might not even have internet access. But I thought, this is a hotel and it should have a larger TV with a console in it. So that's why I chose this one. And then I wasn't really sure how to decorate around it. So that's what I ended up with. And this is the Snuggly Duckling. I wanted it to be the type of room where, like some of the places we've all been to, where they just put all kinds of stuff on the walls. It'd be the kind of place where you might find a boot hanging from the ceiling with a shoelace, just a lot on the walls. But the story behind this build is I did not do this room first. What I did first was a gymnasium that was in my default house on the 5th floor for the Sports Savvy Dream Snap. And I knew I wanted to do a rustic tavern. I thought all 4 rooms would be very rustic. So that's not how it turned out, though. I took a picture, brought my gym over, and set it down. Now we know the player houses are larger than the 10 by 10 rooms, and it got my brain going and thought, how about a built-in swimming pool? Now that I have so much more space. So then in the next room, well, this is Sports Savvy and the protein shakes are here. That's the only shake in the game that doesn't have sugar in it. And I realized this is starting to turn more modern when my original idea was rustic and tavern. But and this was a fun build. I had fun putting this together. If your clock is set to noon or close to noon, the sun reflecting on the water is really pretty in here with these windows. Thank you. I like to think that the owner of the Snuggly Duckling, she's out there keeping that main room very taverny and serving up drinks, and she's taking care of the people in the gym and in the spa. But your wife might like this. I like to think of her as an artist and that she sculpts, and she sculpts cats especially. So she put this sculpture together, and she has this kitty cat over here on and she put the cat over. Now this part not for your wife, being an artist, the sculpture part. She put the cat playing with the eel.
That is
if you look at it.
Very interesting.
That was kind of funny.
Thank you so much for watching. This is the first Valley tour of many you're gonna see in the next couple of weeks. So I hope you're ready. Lots of super different and super amazing valleys. The ones that were recorded months ago to the ones that were recorded just a couple weeks ago. Lots of inspiration to go around. If you are working on decorating your valley, then I'm sure you're gonna find some amazing ideas and some cool builds that you would want to copy to your valley as well. Thank you so much for watching. Huge thanks to all of our supporters, and I'll see you in the next one, Dreamers. Goodbye.
Oh, nice day we're having, isn't it?
Oh, it's wonderful. Woohoo!
Amazing. Gotta tell you, it is really beautiful here. Hey, nice to see you.
Oh, hello.
Are you seeing this?
Oh,